Since he was 17, Tahj Eaddy has lived the life of a basketball nomad. He was skinny as a rail then, barely pushing 6 feet, hardly 150 pounds. Too small to command much attention on the recruiting trail, no matter how many plays he made nightly for Notre Dame High in West Haven, Conn. "I was a late bloomer," Eaddy, now 24, said. It was another 7 years before he would grow into the game-changing point guard he's become at USC, where he and the 17th-ranked Trojans play Arizona on Saturday at Galen Center. As a graduate transfer, Eaddy has set the tone in his single season for the first-place Trojans, 18-3, 12-2 Pac-12, whose trajectory points skyward as March approaches. But even as a spindly youngster, Eaddy was entirely convinced of where basketball intended to lead him. So he followed dutifully wherever it beckoned. First, Memphis for his senior season of high school. Then, Atlanta for a prep school year. It was during that extra season at the Skill Factory, in nearby Woodstock, GA, that he finally grew, filling out his frame enough to garner some attention for the 25 points per night he'd been putting up. "Even though I was performing on the court, I'd have big games, and recruiters would say, 'Hey, this kid is really good, but he's too small,'" Eaddy said. "There was always an asterisk by my name. Going to prep school, that helped my career a lot." It led him to Southeast Missouri State, in Cape Girardeau, Mo, where his first collegiate season in 2016-17 didn't play out quite how he'd envisioned. As a freshman, he averaged 7.5 points per game, while leading the Redhawks in three-point percentage, 42%, and from the free throw line, 92%. But some nights, his minutes dwindled without any clear reason. Eaddy admitted he was frustrated. "It was a learning experience," he said. "But I never pouted. I just kind of rolled with it. I knew eventually my time would come. I knew I was talented enough. I was just going to have to wait my turn a little bit." That's all he could do the following year. After transferring to Santa Clara, Eaddy sat out the 2017-18 season because of NCAA rules, waiting eagerly for a fresh start on the West Coast. When his time finally came, he took full advantage, leading Santa Clara in scoring, 15.5 points, and minutes, 35.5. But the next season, with largely the same lineup around him, his playing time was cut by coach Herb Sendek. The guard played 10 fewer minutes per game and couldn't understand why. "It was just the direction the coach wanted to go," Eaddy said. "So I just kind of rolled with it. But I knew it was time for a change." Meanwhile, change was being thrust upon Andy Enfield. 2 guards, Sturdivant and Elijah Weaver, unexpectedly transferred. 3 more exhausted their eligibility. The USC coach had just 1 returning guard, Ethan Anderson, left on the roster from the 2019-20 season, when his staff started sifting through the NCAA transfer portal. Eaddy seemed like an obvious fit.